Hello friends, this is my first video on YouTube, so forgive me my various technical difficulties. My name is Magdalena and I would like to share with you my first journal that I made for Etsy. I would like to first credit and talk about people that I really admire and that really inspired me, and that's Jibid Neary, Nick the Booksmith and Amity Bloom. I enjoy their videos. I watched a lot of their videos, and they are so talented and fantastic artists. And if you didn't check them out, but I'm sure you did because I'm new. So if you are watching my video, you have probably already seen theirs. I will try and link them underneath this video if I work out how, because this is my first attempt. So let's get to the journal. I don't want it to take more than half an hour because I don't want to bore you. And this is, I think, the fourth attempt I'm making this, so I would like to have it done. So this journal is covered in linen cloth, which is tea dyed and coffee stained, and it's got some metal stains on it from some washers that I put on, and eco print that I made last year on watercolor paper, and it came out really clear. It's got 4 centimeter spine there, and that's the back of the book. There is some nice coffee stain and metal imprints, some corners, a lot of laces and trims sticking out, and tabs, and here is a metal clip, tabs and clips. And the size of this book is not, I don't have an inches, so it's 26 centimeters by 17 centimeters, and the pages are 25 by 16. So I don't know how many inches it is. I'm sure you can convert it if you would rather that. The first page is this Tim Holtz pocket, because we all love him, and in that pocket is a tag and a page from an old Brockhaus lexicon. It's a German lexicon book. This is a copy of one of the lithographs. I haven't used the originals because they are over 100 years old. I think it's from 1898, and I don't know if I could get copies, if I could get another originals anywhere, so I have reprinted them and stained them and aged them. And this paper is the original paper from the Brockhaus lexicon that was on front and back of it, and I took it off and I put it in this book. This book is made from scratch. Is not an upcycled book, so I did take that one apart and made this one, but used the original paper. So that paper is over 100 years old. It's lovely, subtle nature motif. So you probably noticed the book is botanical and garden themed, with some butterflies and birds in it. This is an Edith Holden page, which is a pocket with some ivy, and here we have a trim that has been tea dyed and dyed with a green ink, light green ink. It's a linen, very old linen that my mom gave me, and this page is made from tracing paper that has been stained with some green inks, and it made some cool patterns on it. And then we have an envelope that is made from Edith Holden page. Here is a page from a book, very old book. I think it's 1930s. That's a Czech book that I found in an old bookshop with herbs and healing plants. And here we have, it's reinforced here. And here we have note paper, music paper that I found in a charity shop in Ireland. That's, I think, 138. I'm not sure. Old as well. Not 138. 1938. So, as you see, dates and inspiration for this book came from loads of places. Here is a tab. Here is tag pocket with a specimen. It's an oregano specimen from my garden. It's not really much of a garden, it's more of a plant collection of plants with herbs. Here is some lined paper and another lined paper with numbers and pergament paper. It reminds me of the papers that are in old books to protect the old lithographs, and I got that in a shop. It was called pergament paper, so that's an interesting texture. Here is another page from the old lexicon, cactuses. There is a lined paper on the back and it's all stitched around, so that's a large journaling card. I didn't want to fold it because it's really beautiful. Here we have two little journaling cards, spaces that I made for hidden message, anything you want. So all the paper is tea-dyed and coffee stained. Here is a metal stained on the paper, and all the paper is 110 GSM. Well, the paper that is not lined, the majority of paper is not lined, and that's 110 GSM. It's a paper for technical drawings, so it will take fountain pen really well. I tried it. Here is a graph paper, blue graph paper, tea-dyed, and here is a book. Here is a page from a book about fruit trees and about how to plan your garden. My mom gave me that. The book is really old. She gave it me because they don't need it anymore. Their garden is very mature, so yeah, I was allowed to take it apart. So this is a pocket. Here is some journaling spaces, tea-dyed paper, graph paper. Here is a little collaged pocket with some old rose fabric and butterfly and little lace there, tab, and you see these stains, that's from the washers, from the metal. So more tea-dyed pages. Here we have a page with tracing paper pocket with old fabric trim. There is passion flower from my garden and another fabric tag that I made. So that's all sewn on the page. More pergament paper, more lined paper, tag with a tag. Here we have a eco print of a cherry tree leaf, and that's a winter leaf. So that leaf was already on the floor and it was about January. We've got another cherry tree leaf at the back, and that was a fresh one, so I'll show you the difference. Here is some graph paper on the back and more journaling spaces. Sorry about the angle of the camera, I haven't worked out how I'm gonna do this yet. More note paper. Here is an old page from a book about butterflies that comes from the Czech Republic as well. I made it into a pocket, and there is a tag where you can put a photograph or write something. There is a music paper on the back with stitching all around it, and here is the end of the first signature, and there's some tails, and that's the tracing paper again that I stained with inks, and a botanical card all stitched around. That's from the old lexicon again, with all different, with tree and its seeds and flowers. And here we have an envelope from the old music book, Invitation to the Waltz, it says. So that's the second signature here. We have a trim which has been stained with ink, light green ink, so it's like greenish yellow. And this is a pocket that I stitched together and collaged from some fabric that I got in Budapest. It's a lovely like upholstery fabric, green, sort of nice pattern on it, and Tim Holtz paper. And in here we have a journaling card, large journaling card, all stitched around and aged with pear from my fruit tree book, so that goes there. And here we have a old music paper that says Dreaming, and little bluebell card with tracing paper trim. That's a pocket, peekaboo pocket, and a lovely Edith Holden print with bird and its eggs. I think it's a starling, I'm not sure. It's a lovely print. That's the back of the print with some farming scenes, and graph paper, blue graph paper, music paper. Here is a page from an old book, British Pocket Guide of British Birds or something like that. And here is more journaling spaces. Everything has been tea dyed and coffee stained, obviously. And here is a little tuck, and the tag is made with the tea dye and the metal washer again, so that made some really interesting effect. And here is a pocket, Tim Holtz paper pocket, sewn together, all around sewn, with it's the floral motif on it with the seeds and plants. That's really beautiful paper. And here we have a real specimen of a rose with a date all stitched around. So there's a lot of detail in all these tags. And here is a page from my healing plants book, tea dyed tracing paper, graph paper, lined paper, all different papers, music page, and graph paper with some cool coffee stains, and tracing paper. Here is the other half of the page. So this paper is really thick and creamy, and it's lovely coffee dyed. You can see all different patterns. And then here is a little tracing paper pocket where I collaged some old sheet music and muslin and the bird together and sewn all around it. And in that we have a journaling card with some apples and blue lined paper on the back, coffee stained, so that goes in there. And here we have another bird page, which is short-toed lark. That bird, lark. Note paper, graph paper, blue graph paper. We have sage here, which is on a little clip. That's a sage leaf. And here we have a stamped sage. And here we have paper. It's a card that I scrunched up and then coffee dyed, and it came out with some really interesting effects. And here we have a another page from the lexicon, which has got very rich colors, various flowers, and it's really beautiful and very vintage. And card mat where you can put a photograph all stitched around, or you can write on it, or both. So that's very vintage style flowers. And here is Tim Holtz paper with flip out, this nest flip out, and here is a secret tracing paper pocket, inked tracing paper. And here we have a pocket on this side with a lovely lace, which has been tea dyed, and in the pocket is a specimen of a leaf. That's from my sister's plant. That's a real specimen. They are all real. Here we have more journaling spaces, tea dyed papers, and here is a little tack spot with a nasturtium flower pressed in it. Tea dyeing and flip, and more pages, pergament paper. Here we have some bags and beetles. That's another page from the lexicon, and more journaling spaces. And here is a page with a tag, page pocket with a tag. And here we have some sewing, and that's the pocket is sewn on. It's another collage with some fabric and Tim Holtz paper, all aged and sewn together with tag and tap made out of the same fabric as the pocket. And it's the birds and nest print, which we all love. And here I put some glassine bags on the back. I don't know, they look like glassine bags, but I'm not sure, but they are lovely anyway. And in this bag is a tag with a real pheasant feather. And yeah, that's a story. Somebody gave me a stuffed pheasant because they thought I will like that. It's a bit worrying that people think I like things like that, but I do. But I didn't like that pheasant much. And when I wasn't home, my dogs have got hold of him and finished him off. So he was dead anyway, but they probably thought he needs to be dead even more. So I have got now loads of feathers, and the pheasant has been totally destroyed. So I was quite glad about that. And because he was hideous. And here is a tab, more journaling spaces, tea dyed papers, music page, graph paper, squared, journaling spaces, graph paper. Here is a little tack spot made out of a real lavender specimen, which is backed with music paper, and the front is tracing paper, and it's all sewn together with a little tracing paper trim. And here we have a tab with a rose, that's a very old fabric with a rose, that's from my mom. And we've got loads of other journaling spaces and another page pocket. more journaling paper. There is the other side of the paper with the beetles. They are gorgeous. You can't see properly on the video, they just look black, but there is a lot of detail in it. They are quite dark, but there is a lot of detail in it. And pergament paper, and here is a pocket with some dragonflies all sewn around. Beautiful page, lots of sewing, and here we have journaling page and little seed pods specimen with a date when it was collected. That's another story. When I was collecting that one, I put down my handbag, walked off all happy with the seed pods, left my handbag on the floor on the road. But a good job, some good soul found it and returned it to the town hall, and because there was my ID card in it, they returned it to me. And because every time I am visiting my parents, I lose my purse or my handbag or something, I think they are well used to it in the town hall, so I'm very lucky in this way. Here is a peekaboo pocket, and there is a Tim Holtz print backed with some old linen, and here is a trim from the blue fabric, blue upholstery fabric, with a little tab on the end there, and some tracing paper sewn onto this Tim Holtz paper. And here we have another card, tea-stained card with some sewing on it, and a music paper pocket. So here is one pocket with a bay leaf specimen, and here in the back is another pocket with a fabric material tag. And here we have a beautiful pocket. It's fabric pocket with a trim which has been inked and tea dyed, and an old button, yeah, I love that fabric. It's not old. I bought it in Czech Republic, and it's a digitally printed fabric, but it's absolutely stunning. And next to it we have another page with poppy flowers. So there we go, some ledger and lined paper and blue graph paper, and another book page from the bird book, and some lovely thick paper, and here lovely thick paper with a doily print, which is not very clear, but it's there, and tracing paper, so all different papers, all tea stained. Here is a pocket, collaged pocket with some cheesecloth on very thick tracing paper and bird. It's like vellum, it's so thick. And here we have another page from the old lexicon that I aged. It's about flowers and some mosses, and it's like a botanical page, so that goes in there. I timed myself to 30 minutes, but I don't know if I'll make it. Here is a book page with some lovely butterflies and a big caterpillar there. It's all botanical books that I'm using. More of that thick, lovely thick paper. And here is a big collage with all different specimens, and it's made into a pocket. And there is a rose, fern, lime tree, seed pod, and nasturtiums, what is that, lavender and oregano, and some seed pods, and it's all collaged into a page on squared paper or graph paper with tracing paper over it, and it's all stitched around and glued on the page as a pocket, and it's lovely. There is loads of real specimens. Here we have another graph, another page from the butterfly book. That's really beautiful colors. It's all been aged, and tracing paper, tea-dyed paper. Here we have a little tag spot with the old lace there on the side, and here is another book page, and the blue tea-dyed graph paper. That's quite thick graph paper, and lined paper, some ledger, some really lovely cream paper there, and we've got a envelope here that I stamped confidential, and you can put something in the envelope, and also there is a hidden tag spot behind the envelope. Here I made a collaged pocket, all stitched around with a specimen tag and a book page and cheesecloth, so that's all stitched together. And no, that's not stitched together, it's stitched on the sides, it's collaged together. Here we have a trim with some green linen and a pattern paper that is made into two pockets here, and one has got a fern specimen, which is on a tag, and this one is a collaged tag. And here we have a pocket with some butterflies and insects with a long tag in it. Most of the tags have this eyelet, so, and this you can close like that, but if you have a long tag in it, then obviously you can't close it. And so we've got loads of spaces for documenting anything you want to do. I didn't put something in every pocket because obviously you need to put your own personality into the book, so I think there is plenty of room for your own expression, and I didn't want to, you know, take over. Here, this is the front page of the book I used. It's the British Birds. More tea-dyed paper, Edith Holden page, lovely watercolor, and flip out music page. Here is a little journaling page with some stamps. Two are Czech, one is from USA. I have got a lot of stamps because my dad corresponds with everyone, so that's a tea-dyed paper there. Clipped with a little gold clip, and tab. Here is a tab, and music page, coffee stained thick paper, and here we have another eco print. That's the cherry leaf that was from November, so it was full of color, and it was autumn leaf, so it was, I think, red, and that printed really nicely, as you can see. So that's a tag, and that's on watercolor paper. Here is some graph paper, and I don't know, this is like a square paper, and this is like a graph paper. And here we have a large pocket from a graph paper stitched together, and some journaling spaces, book page, lined paper, and here we have a lovely big pocket made out of the technical drawing paper. It's all stitched. It's got green stitching it's all stitched together. Here is a large deep pocket. Here is a tuck spot that you can tuck something in it. And here we have 3 specimens: rosemary, physalis, I hope I said that right, that could have gone terribly wrong, and violets. So that is a page with your specimens, and that's the back of the page. You can journal on that. Here we have a lined paper, book paper with some birds in flight, so that's interesting. And here is another one, Tim Holtz paper journaling spot, and a flip, graph paper, blue graph paper. So in this book is blue graph paper and brown graph paper, and square paper, max paper I think it's called. And this is another drawing paper, that's the 110 GSM. Majority of the paper is that one, and it's lovely, creamy. And old sheet music, and music paper, and another pocket with some botanical card with cheesecloth, and it's stitched around on the really thick tracing paper. And Edith Holden page, and here we have a lovely page from the lexicon again, and it says colibris, and that's in German. It says colibris, and I think that they are hummingbirds, but I'm not sure. It's those small birds that drink the juice from the flowers. So I don't know, maybe it's a hummingbird. It's beautiful print, it's lovely. And here we have a tag spot with some green and tea-dyed trim, and book page, and the pocket, and the lace, tea-dyed lace, and there is a big coffee stain, which is quite cool. And here is the back of the patent paper, that's the end of last signature, and that's lavender specimen, and another journaling card with a bird, or tag, not a journaling card. So there's many specimens in this book. I don't know how many altogether, but I would say about 10, definitely. And here we have on the back, here we have a botanical print that is stitched around. Lovely texture, made into a pocket. And that's the back of the paper. I don't know if I said that already. The paper is from the old lexicon. The front of the and the back of the book had this paper on, which I took off and I put into this book I made. The cover is made from scratch, so it's not an upcycled book, it's made from scratch. So I have used this paper on the front and the back because it's over 100-year-old paper, 1898. So it's there, and it's here. Okay, so book has got 5 signatures, 150 pages or 300 pages front and back, so ample amount of space for your photographs and writing and documenting. So this is what it looks like. It's quite thick. It's a thick book, and I will list it on Etsy, and I hope you liked it. And again, I would like to thank to all my inspirational people that I watch on Etsy. You are brilliant artists, and I think my half an hour is up because my cooking is beeping. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in again if you enjoyed this. Thank you.